Here's part 2 for tonight. This is about the rune Fehu. I'll show you the picture if I decide not to drop it off my couch. This is Fehu. It's drawn by making the lines this way and this way. Fehu, in the typical books that you get off the shelf at Barnes & Noble or anyplace else, will say that it has to do with wealth. Not yes and no. It has a little bit to do with money. It has to do with one of the first lessons in magic, to be able to take care of yourself and to keep your crap together so that you're not having to mooch off of everybody else. Norse culture dictates this giving equally and sharing equally. Respect the known. Your guest comes in, you give them food and coffee and cookies or whatever. And if a neighbor comes to you and asks for help, you help them in the way that you can. If they ask for money because they need to pay a bill, you may not be able to give them the money, but you could maybe help them out in some other way so that they could get a job, like babysit their kids for the weekend because they need to get a second job. That would be a way of showing generosity. So the rune Fehu isn't so much about money, it's about how money comes to you and opening that doorway. It's about expanding your opportunities. It is a fire rune, and fire in rune work is about expansion and like lighting a fire. Tending a coal or an inner fire inside yourself. Well, Fehu is about blowing the door wide open to that, saying, okay, mom has arrived and there's some crap that needs to be done. So Fehu has showed up and this is what we're going to do. Fehu strengthens your charisma. It puts it out to the universe that your mojo is so awesome that Donald Trump needs to hire you tomorrow because you're awesome and you need these things done and he needs these things done and you're the perfect fit. It's that kind of thing. It brings the right people to you at the right time. Fehu as an inner expansion and inner knowledge rune. You can draw it on a piece of paper, see it, focus on it in meditation. Think about the thing that you need drawn to you, that needs to expand in your life. And almost everybody says, I need wealth to expand in my life. I need money to expand in my life. Maybe you have that already. Maybe what you need is you need an opportunity so that you can bring more of it in. Sitting on the couch isn't going to help bring more money in unless maybe you're getting paid to watch television or whatever for hours at a time. Maybe you need an opportunity for a better car so that gets better gas mileage so that you can save more money. You see what I'm saying? So think about really what it is that you need expanded in your life. For me, one time I needed time expanded because I just didn't have enough hours in the day. I used Fehu to help expand the day. And what happened was my clients started calling at a really good time and not wasting time in their readings by talking about nonsensical stuff that they didn't need to know about. I didn't need to know about. It was TMI. They stopped that and actually started breaking into the questions and things that they really wanted to know more about. So Fehu worked with me for that. I have used Fehu to help me find buildings because I needed to expand my business and there was a farmhouse near us. I used Fehu to get the farmhouse and sign in so that we could get that and that I could use the back portion of the farm to grow all the herbs that I use in my hoodoo work and to put the building up that I have the candles set in, that type of thing. I used Fehu to secure that. I use Fehu on my checkbook because I want my savings account to expand, my savings book. I have Fehu on it. I want that savings to expand. I put Fehu on my customer's altar because I want whatever their wishes are to expand and be greater in their life as well. So, working with this rune, you want to align yourself. You want to take a good deep breath in. You want to be in a meditative state, something along those lines to help yourself be focused. You want to write the rune out and say it while you write it. That's called the reading of it. The cutting of it would be the writing of it. Typically, runes are written in red on a piece of wood. I put mine on a white piece of paper in red. A lot of runes are read on a white cloth. They're tossed, kind of, or poured out. That's one way to read them. then you call in your divinity. You call in who it is that you work with. And I don't follow a Norse pantheon. I just don't. And I haven't. Every once in a while, I will see thunder and lightning, and I'll think, oh, Thor's out partying tonight. But you can. The runes that are related to Fehu, the deities related to Fehu are Freya. Some people say Frigga is related to Fehu, but I've seen it where Freya, Frigga are all connected. Pick one if you feel like you need some extra oomph and energy sent that way. Then you can also ask the runes. Ask it what it is that, I want you to help me with this. I need help expanding my exercise schedule. It's really getting boring. That might be a good one. I need to expand the idea that my family helped clean house with me. That could be a good one. I need to expand the happiness in my workplace because everybody's very grouchy. Think about that in those terms. So then you're asking of the rune, and then you offer yourself. So you're offering an energy. And in Norse tradition, you really do have a third eye. You have a window right in your forehead where you can project the runes out of, like a big giant movie screen. So you're going to take Fehu, you're going to project it out through your forehead onto the image that you want expanded. So if you want your bank account expanded, you're going to see your bank account number. You may even need to draw it out. You may need to write your bank account number on there and then draw Fehu on it, and then really focus and meditate on it, and then see it projecting out of your mind, out into the ethers, out into space. I call it the in-between. I have this exercise where when I'm doing rune work, I will actually go outside and write the rune in the dirt, stand in it, then look off into the horizon where there is an infinite space, and I will send the rune out with my intent. And sometimes I will intone the word or the name of the rune. Sometimes I'll end it with just a song. Sometimes I'll say Om. It just depends on kind of what I feel at the minute and what comes to me. A little cross-tradition mixing when I'm doing the Om work out there. So then you send it. Then finally, they call it the sacrificing, which I call it the making it sacred, which is sending the sound with it. But it can also be stepping out of the rune space. It can be honoring. I have once or twice sent a rune out and said, if I get this, and if this expands in my life, I promise to take a portion of it and dedicate it to someone else who is in need of expansion. That doesn't mean I give them money. It doesn't mean that I give them whatever. But if I see a way to teach someone else to do it, then I'll teach them. That's a great way of doing it. It's kind of a Native American way of passing the medicine on. So, work with Fehu this week. Fehu can have to do with wealth. It can have to do with luck. It can have to do with money. It can have to do with your property and the things you possess. You can possess good health. You can possess a good job, a car, people in your life. Your friendships are a form of possession that you want to protect and foster and grow. Remember, fire is about expanding and sending. Fehu is a fire rune. So know that's what's going to happen to you. You'll start to expand. Your ideas about how to make things come into your life are going to expand. You as a person are going to expand. Your friendship pool is going to expand when you start working with Fehu. I saw somewhere on the internet one time, I saw that somebody actually wrote the rune inside the little part of their hand right there. So every time they grabbed something that they wanted, they used their left hand, and that expanded that wanted more. So they held money in their hand a lot of the day because they were working on growing some money for an opportunity. So you might think about drawing it in red just in that little space right inside here of your hand, so that as you grab and you bring things forward, then you can expand that as well. Remember to send it out through your mind, project it out like a movie screen in the sky. My daughter says sometimes it reminds her of sending out the signal to Batman. Instead, you're sending out the signal to the rune's energy in the world so that all things align up with that, if you want to think about it like that. So thanks for coming tonight and joining me for this very informal rune class. Below this is an area that if you want to send me some questions, I am happy to answer the questions. We're going to go, like I said, over each of the runes over time, and I'll try to introduce some other ideas related to the magic of this. So anything's game. You can ask any question. I'll try to address it in a video or underneath in the comments section. And again, thanks for coming tonight, and I will see you next time.